Welcome to Tencent Lightspeed Studios SYN, a tech demo for a globally marketed PC and console open-world FPS game.
Number 1. Tencent Games, well, literally speaking the biggest gaming company out of China, or the richest per se, has been developing a cyberpunk-style open-world MMO game that's being developed with the use of Unreal Engine 5 since roughly 4 years ago. Some of you might remember, this is just a quick reminder for those of you who missed it, this game is set in the year 2035 and touted as a science fiction first-person shooter and a PC exclusive. We're not sure when, but the game is possibly releasing early next year.
This concludes our presentation. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
It is a beautiful day on Citadel Station. Humanity is on the verge.
System Shock Remake is expected to launch March now on PCs, Epic Games, and GOG. Console editions are also in the works and set to be released a few months after. System Shock Remake has been rebuilt from the ground up and also has been in the making for 4 years now. Just in case you're new here, this is a Kickstarter idea that gathered over $1 million now, and this is how it really looks. The game's actually being built with the use of Unreal Engine 5 also.
I create. I iterate. I fuse flesh and steel into perfection.
And number 3, by Abyss. Perhaps the most off-the-radar project out of the company since 2019, we've got over here Plan 8, the first shooter introduced by Abyss ever, aiming to combine open-world MMO elements with action-packed third-person shooting and hack-and-slash components. So guys, Plan 8 is currently being developed for PCs, both generation of consoles as well, and set to be coming out either late this year or early 2024. In any case, this is how it looks. Number 4, it is once again Vigilancer 2099, another open world game that's being built with the use of Unreal Engine 5 since 3 years ago. See, Vigilancer, as you can probably tell, is an action RPG and mainly a single player game about the life of this bounty hunter in a dense cyberpunk city. It's basically Cyberpunk 2077 out of an indie developer and more of a Blade Runner-y thing. This game's set to be coming to PCs only and due out in about a few months. Flashback, on the other hand, just got itself a new release window. Now, for those of you who have been waiting since the Summer Game Festival last year, the game is now releasing for PCs and literally all platforms in spring this year. This is indeed the sequel to an original 30-year-old called classic action-adventure, now blending puzzle and action through previous locations of the game, and more. Check it out just in case you missed it.
Nothing stays clean for long.
Lo-Fi is actually available in early access for PC VR, with plans for a full launch into other headsets as well sometime later this year. This game is one of the more promising titles due to arrive this year when it comes to virtual reality, so cyberpunk adventure, and also the spiritual successor to Iris VR by Technolust. We're moving on. At number 7, we have probably the most anticipated retro-style platformer to be released in 2023, or at least one of the top 5, a game called Replaced, a Microsoft exclusive that's pretty much in the same vein as the much awaited game The Last Night. What is described as a cinematic action-adventure Metroidvania, and actually one of the most advanced games and visuals. Here, Replaced is set to be released mid to late this year for PCs and Xbox consoles only. Coming up behind that, we have a game called Beneath Us. This is a story-rich science fiction thriller and an adventure in some sort of futuristic agency in a society that has become fully automated with AI. Honestly, this game is available on Steam through a demo, so you can get a better idea for yourself. Story-wise, it's just about some guy and a data ghost who lived in his head and controlled his body. Take a look. This game is coming to PCs fully really soon here. Moving on, we have from earlier this year, with an insane amount of hype by Sega and the same team behind Alien Isolation games. A game called Hyenas, supposedly a multiplayer-based science fiction first-person shooter, where you technically play the role of some sort of Robin Hood. There's a trailer. This game's set to be coming to consoles and PCs by the end of the year.
I said stop playing with the merch and move.
Can't you see we're busy?
Yes, very busy, darling.
At number 10, we've heard over here from a few months back Cyberpunk Detective. This is a cyberpunk crime fiction game that will allow you to visit this certain cyberpunk city, inquiring to unsolve the city's rotten nature. Mystery, whatever turned this city into a rat hole, in which you obviously play as a private detective seeking justice. Game's an open world to some extent, said to be coming out for PCs only by the end of the year. This has been in our radar since a little more than a few months ago. Still, we've got here by developers of Cloudpunk a new game called Nivalis. Technically another cyberpunk-inspired restaurant management game, in which players can grow the business, manage restaurants and nightclubs, starting small and eventually owning the whole city. The Nivalis. Here, this game's set to be coming to PCs only, and releases for what is still yet to be announced.
Money. Well, then you can rent that fancy new apartment in Midtown. So make friends, make enemies. Give customers a route, just turn on the old charm. Or water down their drinks. I'm not your conscience. This is a world to explore, to make stories. Your stories. You ever look up at
Number 12, we've got Luna Abyss. Luna Abyss is a narrative-driven action-adventure. You'll see some gameplay in a second. This is a first-person shooter exploration base with the aim to make you discover this vast colony under the depth of this place's moon. If you like bullet hell shooter with cosmic horror game elements mixed together, Luna Abyss right over here is actually quite good delivering that. I mean, based on the trailer, this game's on its way to PCs and the next generation of consoles only, and due out mid to late this year.
Let me share with you a fragment of my infinite knowledge.
Coming up at number 13 as one of the most incredible projects announced in 2021. Mainly due to the graphics, we have something called Shadow of Conspiracy Section 2. This is a third-person and also first-person shooter set in some dystopian 2087 Berlin open-world setting about some detectives inquiring on a woman's death. Possibly his woman. I mean, I forgot. I've actually read about it. Anyway, SOX 2, in short, probably is set to be coming to PCs and the next generation of consoles only, rumored to be released in 2023.
130 years.
Between Horizons, on the other hand, is a narrative-driven 2D, 3D science fiction detective adventure, 33 years into the main character's journey out there in the future, where the single mission that you were assigned for is now in danger due to some freak nature accident. We all remember the movie The Passenger? This game is precisely that, but of course different in overall just picture. Now, Between Horizon is a time-sensitive, semi-open world, story-based game and said to be coming out to all consoles and PCs by the end of the year. Take a look.
But a lot can go wrong in 130 years.
How many times you gotta take a bullet for these motherfuckers in the name of empty promises?
And last but not least, we've got here, of course, Cyberpunk 2077's huge reveal of a DLC expansion that they've been cooking for 2 years straight now, going by the name Phantom Liberties. This is the game's final DLC chapter. It's reportedly said to be the biggest budget DLC developed by CD Projekt Red to this day, perhaps of all time, something as big as a Skyrim expansion, and hopefully releasing in about 2 months from now. We hear. Check it out just in case you missed it.
Dogtown. Burn it to the ground's what we'll do. It's a simple choice. Them or us. Peace comes at a price.